Hi, this is Mason, and you're watching the 315 with Brian Higgins. Now it's time to start the post-game show. Here's Brian.
Oh, and another one slips away. This is turning into the tournament of, are we hopeful or concerned with the missed opportunities? Yesterday, hopeful. Today, missed opportunities as you had two cracks at two real teams. Took Houston overtime yesterday. And, man, just an absolute mess on the offensive end of the court today against Kansas. You expect that against Houston. Kansas, not quite as sublime a defensive team as the Cougars. And, the Orange offense just looks stuck in the mud today. Defense, man, they're playing their butt off on defense. But the offense, significant work in progress right now. Welcome in, everyone. Post-game show. Game 2 of 3 out in Vegas. As always, you know this, but we'll say it anyway. As always, the link is pinned top of the chat. So get on in there if you'd like to join the show vis-a-vis a video call here. 71-60, Kansas knocks off Syracuse today. And, yeah, Matt, NY, the stats in this game are nuts. Because you watch the game. If we watched that game, I don't know about you, if they took the scoreboard off and I watched the game, it just felt like Syracuse was getting just sat on a little bit. And then you look at some of the Syracuse stats. Field goal percentage, 31%. Three-point percentage, 23%. Free throw percentage, shockingly, it was as high as 56%. Yikes. Somebody give William Kyle a hug. Then you look at the rebounding numbers. Minus 20. Kansas 49, Syracuse 29. Minus 20. Then the turnover numbers. Kansas 15, Syracuse 2. Somehow the Orange advantage was only 9-0 points off turnovers with that significant advantage. You look at the numbers like it's a wild game statistically, but, man, the Orange couldn't hit the broad side of the barn from anywhere today. And, you know, it just felt like a lot of times they were just chucking up threes. It just nobody was moving on offense. We mentioned Cayenne. He hasn't played well, I don't think, the last 2 days. He certainly hasn't shot well, but he also hasn't played well. Like, he's dribbling into traffic. Like, Nate Kings hasn't shot well, but he's playing well. And Cayenne has not played well since the first 3 games of the season. And today, they got by yesterday. Today, you could really tell what kind of an impact a healthy Donnie Freeman would have made on the game. Because based on how they were getting defended, based on the areas that ended up being open on the court, based on how the game played out, where Donnie is capable of scoring from on the court is exactly what Syracuse needed today. Because God bless William Kyle, and at least for me anyway, he's my early leader in the clubhouse for a Wildbirds Unlimited Big Air Player of the Game. I thought he was fantastic today in many ways. You're not running your offense through him. But with a guy like Donnie who can score inside, who can score mid-range, and is a capable high-low passer to Kyle, it would have opened up so many things today and hopefully avoided just the flat-out chucking from 3. So, yeah, there we go. No player of the game. You know, here's the thing, Matt, and why we've already done that once this week. That we can't go too strong to that. Can't go too strong to that early. Like we gave the player of the game on Saturday to Fran Brown's jacket. So I think we may need to give it to an actual person. Yeah, Sean, where's the they're not. You look at the offense. Obviously, the offense is being run very differently than when Boeheim was here. But there's no, off-ball screens and running. There's pick and roll. There's, it's spaced out, I guess. But nobody's, moving off somebody do something off the ball. There's just, and I get it, their legs were probably a little bit cooked after playing Houston yesterday. But nobody was moving off the ball. And Kansas is not a great defensive team. They're fine. They're not a great defensive team. The possessions where stuff did happen a little bit off the ball, and not a lot of stuff, just a little, somebody went from here to here to here. Those possessions worked, or at least ended up in free throws, which is not necessarily good. Not necessarily Good. So yeah, there is that. There's that. If anybody, because I still don't know how the hell this tournament works. If anybody has a clue who Syracuse is playing next or when the game is, or you happen to see that flash past anywhere, do let me know. We'll pass it along because I don't know what's going on in this tournament. Yeah, it's frustrating, Sean. I think they run probably more plays than they realize, but it's a very like there are some offenses like motion type offenses that aren't really running plays, but they're always moving based off something. These guys they're just standing around. They're just standing around, and it's brutal. Somebody's got to do something. Yeah, Mark, but they're doing less. They're doing less. Like Boeheim ran a lot of pick and roll, but there was a lot of other action going on elsewhere on the floor. There was a pick and roll here, but the shooting guard of the small forward over there was running off screens to try to get open. Like there was a little bit of movement. Or at minimum, when there wasn't movement, one of Boeheim's favorite things to do was just stand on the sideline and yell, pass and cut, pass and cut. So, he was at least he's at least working on it. Yeah, it's something like that, Randy, which means like there's obviously a lot more games to go in this tournament tonight. I don't know when we will know. Like I have no idea when we're going to know like when the game is. Does that mean the game's Thursday? Like screw that. Do the 0-2 teams get stuck playing on Thanksgiving? If Syracuse plays Rutgers on Thanksgiving, there will likely not be a post-game show. Because, yeah, sorry, we'll be a tryptophan. But unless it's late at night, like if they play a rando like late night game Thursday, we could get wacky with it. But we'll see. Again, link pinned top of the chat if you'd like to join the show here today. Sean, I actually do feel confident they will keep the defense up. I don't think the defense is fluky right now. Like William Kyle is a legitimate defensive game wrecker with his vertical. Like he's a former conference defensive player of the year when he was at South Dakota State a couple of years ago. That's legitimate, and I think the effort we're seeing from the Nates on defense. Even JJ this season, he's giving a crap on defense. Donnie, when he was in there before he was hurt, I was seeing a lot more effort on defense this year. I feel solid about the defense. I feel solid about the defense right now being sustainable as the year goes along. But man, the offense, especially without Donnie in there, it is a brutal watch. An absolutely brutal watch. The thing about Kings, I think Kings is playing well, Cuse Oregon. He's just shooting terribly. So that which is kind of the opposite of what I thought we might get from him. He's playing well. He seems to be making reasonable basketball plays, he's finished at the rim in some ways. He's playing really, really hard. But man, another 1 of 5 from 3. Betsy right now is without question the best shooter on the team, but man, it's 4 of 10 from 3 for Betsy, which is, it's 40%. You'll take that. But Betsy's threes seem to just very often come like the ball goes to him and he just shoots it. It's not like he's getting these looks that are set up by anything. So it's kind of bizarre. It's kind of bizarre. Yes, Randy. It's definitely more fun to watch than last year. Way more fun to watch than last year. Yeah, but Kings is Matt NY. Kings is guarding. He's doing stuff. Is he he's doing things out there? I don't think he's playing terribly, but he hasn't shot well, and I haven't seen any signs that's going to turn around. Obviously, if he was doing what he did percentage-wise from 3 last year, when he was a 43% three-point shooter, it's a whole different world what you're seeing from him. In a game like this, it's only literally one more made shot, but it just changes the whole dynamic of things. Yeah, last year was just weird torture. I don't know what we all did to deserve last year. Link pinned top of the chat if you'd like to join the post-game show today. Talk about Kansas 71 and Syracuse 60. And, man, trying to sort out, what the next game is, if it's Rutgers or if it's I don't even know, San Diego State or UNLV, whatever. Like you've missed your opportunity in this tournament. Now, you'd still like to win the next game, but you've missed your opportunity. Obviously, Houston was the big opportunity. Today, though, was a really solid opportunity. I get Kansas isn't ranked right now. They're Kansas, though. Like, the year's going to play out. Kansas is going to be fine. If Syracuse had won this game, this would have been an early season, November, quad one, neutral site win that would have held up over the course of the year. And now you're going to get out of here. Maybe somehow, I don't know, you might trip into one tomorrow or Thursday, depending on how it goes. But, man, now you're staring down the barrel of can you dig one out in Game 3 with a really good Tennessee team on deck after that. Like, you could go 0-4 in these games real quick right now and be in big trouble going forward because you would have missed out on every opportunity to get a legitimate non-conference win because they were all stacked up here 4 in a row. You're 0-2. You had legitimate chances in both. They go by the boards, and now a lot of pressure on the next game, even though it'll probably be a lower game, and then massive pressure to take care of Tennessee at home next week. So we'll see. And, yeah, Vo, Cayenne, I love me some Cayenne. I think Cayenne played great the first 3 games. But, all right, I'm okay with him, ball hogging a little bit when it's going in like it was the first 3 games. It's not gone in the last 3 games. So in those scenarios, you got to change up a little bit. Like it was when they cut it to 2, right, in the second half when Cayenne had that terrible stretch. And, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Yeah, Sadiq, I like Sadiq. I'm really intrigued by his skill set, especially defensively. He seems to have, a very innate idea of how to do some stuff that can really be effective on defense. But he's a freshman. And, yeah, he's doing some freshman stuff. I have not, T-Takes, heard any official update on Donnie, which is worrisome. Bruce hurt Achilles tendon strain. I don't want anything, but you don't want the Achilles to be strained. We saw what happened to the quarterback. What happens after the strain? You don't want that. Because Donnie, we saw today, like yesterday, the Orange, I don't know how different yesterday's game would have been with Donnie, just the way the style happened. Today's game, healthy Donnie, was exactly what Syracuse was missing. Because, man, like, the three-point shooting was a mess, but then you didn't have anybody on the court that was willing or capable of doing anything else. So, like, today was a day where Donnie would have been useful. And that's where Betsy's so interesting, right? Like, he's a big dude. He's 6'7", 6'8". He's big. And he does stuff. Like, he rebounds. He had 5 rebounds. Like, he does stuff, but he has not been able to score not on threes yet. Like, if Betsy can add something anywhere near the basket to his offensive arsenal, now you've got a little something. Now you got a little something. I don't think it was 2 people, Jen. I believe Bruce said it twice. So I don't know if that counts as 2. I believe one person said it twice. So I don't know how the math works on that one. Again, link is always pinned top of the chat if you would like to join the old program here today. We'd love to have you as always. We'd love to have you as always as part of our post-game show here today. So Syracuse falls to Kansas, and yeah, Mr. Hawaii. I want to be Mr. Hawaii. That sounds fun. What's up, Kev? This offense, it needs something. Man, it needs something. It is so lacking right now when you look at just how everything is operating in the game today. They chose not to have it. It felt very much like the football team in a way, right? Like they didn't have a second option to go to. Like, all right, this isn't working. Let's do something else. There just wasn't something else. I refuse to face it, Q Sargan. I refuse to face it. I am in denial. Offense with the NIL infusion as bad as it was in 03? Which was 03? The offense was actually good in 03. That was Judah's year. They had zero defense that year in Fellowford. I mean, the offense wasn't good, but they had guys that could put the ball in the bucket. They had guys that could put the ball in the bucket. What's up, Super Cat? What's up, Super Cat? Yeah, Donnie will be day today until March. Oh, man. Man, he was playing so well, too. He was playing really well. It's disappointing. Disappointing. Absolutely disappointing. But that said, I mean, Kansas was out without their one-and-done freshman as well. That Darren Peterson guy is apparently a stud. And they were without him and still were able to control the game. You know, Kyle, it's interesting, Mark. William Kyle is not really he's not a post-move guy. He's an energy, effort, lob, dunk, putback guy, which is fine. You could have gotten him a few more touches, I guess, but that's where you're missing Donnie, because the way Kyle is effective, like, if you had somebody in Donnie that's at least in the mid-post, Sadiq potentially could be this in a different way as the season goes along. He's obviously not as big and bulky as Donnie, but you need somebody that can score or do something somewhere else on the court, which is going to allow Kyle to then come flying in with the second chance, the tips, the putbacks, and all the stuff that he really can be an X factor for. He is such an X factor at that stuff that you need the other stuff. Yeah, it's Chance Westry, brought to you by AI Friday. I think the frustrating part about watching this game, I said it late in the first half. It was a 5-point game with like a minute to go in the first half, whatever it actually ended up being at halftime, but it was 5 points at the half. It ended up being 9 at the half. So whatever it was 5 points with a couple minutes left in the first half. And, you're watching the game. It felt like they were down by 15. I'm like, they're only down by 5. And it kind of felt like that at points yesterday. Like, this team is showing a level of grit that we certainly didn't see last year. And, we haven't seen it in a while. I don't think they're willing to dig in. And it's really good. It's really good on that stuff. But you need a little, skill of getting the ball in the bucket to go with grit. Cayenne, I think, has it within him, but we've seen the last few games what happens when he's, forcing it and not locked in. JJ, he's on the struggle bus right now, coming back from injury or whatever. And I'd like to see a little more offensive score mentality, aggressiveness from Nate George. 5 points today, 1 of 4. Like, we are so used to over the years here seeing point guards that can put the ball in the bucket, and that's not Nate's number one skill, but it was something he was very capable of at Georgia Tech the last couple of years. Yeah, you'd like to see more of that going forward, because you don't right now have somebody that you feel great about getting the offense going when it is stuck, and that's the problem. Even if you had Donnie, it's not like you could get him the ball, but it's just such in a different way for him. He's not like a get the offense going when it's stuck. It's like, no, you need to get him the ball, then he can go to work. So, yeah, I think Sadiq White is. Yeah, Sadiq White's a special talent, Kev. But, yeah, is he ready to carry the team right now? Cayenne's a special talent, but he's not ready to carry the team right now. Can Judah come back? I don't know. We'll check with Carl Mintz, see what he has to say about it. Link pin top of the chat if you'd like to join the show. We'll let you know our plans for tomorrow whenever they figure out what the hell this tournament's doing. So we will, the current plan is we will have a show tomorrow regardless. It will either be a post-game show or Jordan and I will rock out tomorrow night and do a little TPS report. So stay tuned on that, but be prepared to watch something tomorrow. Not actively planning on doing anything on Thursday, even if there is a game on Thursday, because it is, Thanksgiving. Unless for some reason the game ends up being at night, then I suppose we could do a little kooky looped up on turkey and stuffing nightcap. But we'll figure that out as we get throughout the day and throughout the week. Yeah, I'll play Rutgers in the parking lot. Hey, Randy, they have some beautiful parking lots in Vegas. The best parking lots in Vegas. I have so little guess about tomorrow's time, Jen, that the game could be on Thursday. We got no idea what's going on with that. Yeah, no Nick from Vegas yet. No check-in from Gavendo. Yeah, I'm not planning on it, Matt NY. I'm not planning on it, but if it's at a time of day where like everybody else is asleep already, then maybe we could wrap up the evening. But not actively. I'm not interrupting the middle of the day on Thanksgiving to do a post-game show between teams trying to scavenge a win in this tournament. Yeah, I don't know. Are they a tournament team? Here's the thing. Like, I think they are playing well enough to have a chance in the ACC to win enough games to put themselves in position. But you've missed out on two absolutely major opportunities to get the wins you need late. We've seen this, not from Syracuse, because you'd have to be on the bubble to have this matter, but we've seen this on the bubble the last few years. It has negatively affected specifically ACC teams a lot. The ACC, they're doing better this year than other years, but as a collective league, they did not have November wins that mattered, which really harmed them in March. Well, Syracuse had a chance yesterday for sure. They had the ball in a tie game late in regulation, and today, they had a chance. You were battling, you just couldn't make a shot. Like, if you had won either of these games, you have a nice chip in your back pocket going to March. If you had somehow won both, man, you feel really good about life going forward because that's two quad one wins that you have banked. Now, you have two decent losses. Whoop-de-doo. Like, doesn't hurt your numbers, doesn't hurt the net, doesn't hurt any of those things. Probably both those games we heard yesterday, they went up in all the numbers, Ken Palm and whatnot, after the game yesterday. I wouldn't be surprised if, I don't think they're going to go down necessarily with a loss today. But, man, the way this is playing out, like, I'm seeing best case scenario right now is the bubble, right? Because what are the odds of Syracuse barnstorming through the ACC? Not high. Like, even if they do well, what are there, 18 games in the league this year? Let's say they do well. Let's say they go 12-6. That would be really good, right? Let's say they go 12-6. If so, now say they go 12-6, lose to Tennessee, and lose tomorrow. So you'd be, that's 13 non-conference games. You'd be 9-4 to conference. 12-6, you'd be 21-10, right? Did I math that right? 21-10. Yeah, you'd be 21-10, but without any non-conference win worth the crap. And then, did you get enough big wins in the league? Like that scenario, which would be a pretty solid season, right? I think 21-10 in the ACC, 12-6. That's a pretty solid scenario. That is by no means a guaranteed NCAA berth. Absolutely by no means is that a guaranteed tournament berth. And, in years past, you say, 21-10, 12-6 in a major conference. Of course you're in. We've seen that repeatedly here recently. That's not the case. And, yes, Mr. Y, it puts the onus on Tennessee. Is that guaranteed to be quad one? No, not necessarily because it's a home game, but it's got a legitimate chance to be a quad one game. Tennessee's a really good team. Tennessee, remember last year, it's a very different team than last year. Absolutely waxed Syracuse down in Knoxville. But that's a very, very important game next week. And then whatever's tomorrow or Thursday, that becomes a very important game because even if it is Rutgers or UNLV or whatever, it's a decent enough game, right? You got to be it's a decent enough game. Like, the next game's really important here, and the Tennessee game is your last chance to really make anything resembling a statement before the ACC. Because if Syracuse wins, say they play Thursday, like that game's going to be totally off the radar. Like, the Tennessee game reasonably is your only chance to do anything indelible remaining in non-conference play. And now we're to 2026 before you have a chance again. And really, who knows how this league's going to shake out here going forward. What's this game? Is this Tennessee Houston on my TV right now? Is it just starting? Hasn't started yet? Yeah, I'd probably pick Houston in this game. But, I mean, this will be a good eye test, right? Like, I know Tennessee beat the piss out of Rutgers yesterday. Like, say Tennessee wins this game. How good you feeling about life with the Vols coming to the Dome next week? Yeah, I don't know. Link pinned top of the chat if you'd like to join the old post-game show here on this Tuesday prior to Thanksgiving. Everyone have the turkey purchased? Everyone got the stuff you need? Are you thawing the turkey? Is it in the fridge? Are you getting it ready to go? You should be. Could they play the Johnnies the next game? I think maybe. I don't even know. This thing, I know there's like rules with how they're setting this up. I find it so convoluted that I've decided to do the opposite of what I normally do. Usually I like to look at the scenarios. I like to figure it out. I pride myself on being like one of the first people that knows what's going on in conference tournament brackets. Like knowing the tiebreakers, knowing all that stuff. This, I haven't a damn clue what they're doing, so I think I'm just going to have to wait until they tell me. Or until like Mike Waters figures it out or something. Has he been tweeting? Probably not. He's probably busy reporting on things. But there we go. Hamster tossing. What are we talking about? Aircraft carrier. Yeah, they got the money. Did the Johnnies win a game today? Hang on. Let me look up the scores. Let's look up the scores. To the scoreboard. Click. There's Bubble Watch on ESPN.com right now, but they're talking about football. I don't like the term bubble being applied to football. It's confusing. All right. Scores. Can I click on... Are you going to give me just a players era scoreboard? No. St. John's is up 15 on Baylor right now. I'm liking their chances of closing that out. They're up 15 on Baylor. So, yeah. Well, the main thing I don't know is I don't know if the bottom four teams, and I guess if you're 0-2, you're likely in the bottom four teams. I don't know if you're auto-shunted to Thanksgiving or if that, like I assume they're going to stick UNLV playing on Thanksgiving regardless because they're not traveling. Yeah, do that. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, yeah, Sandy, can we get a game on an aircraft carrier? You know what? The way Syracuse played today, they were well suited for aircraft carrier basketball. Just then they would have been forced to stop shooting the threes, and do something different, because that might have been helpful. And just, it's so weird, right? How basketball's changed. Like the mid-range game doesn't exist anymore, and then Carmelo Anthony's sitting right there, and you're like, I remember when it worked well. Like, that guy's right there. Can we get him on? He's got 3 years of eligibility remaining. Let's get him out there. Where did I put the stats for today? Only 2 double-figure scores, Betsy and Starling, but Betsy did it on 4 of 13 shooting. JJ did it on 3 of 13 shooting. Just a very, very inefficient offensive day for the Orange today. Worst 4 records in point differential. Are they guaranteed the Thursday games, though, Matt NY? They have done an absolutely atrocious job with this tournament explaining that. I have, like, the Orange certainly will be at minimum tied for one of the worst records in the tournament by being 0-2. Like, there's no way around that. They have to be at minimum tied for one of the worst records. Are we saying Creighton lost both games? Is that what happened? They got drop kicked by Iowa State today. What do we got? Alabama, UNLV later. That should be a bloodbath, right? What all happened late night in this thing? Last night in the Players era, Auburn beat Oregon. Okay, and there's just so many teams in this thing. It's impossible to keep track of everything that's going on in this tournament. I wish I could click on it. Then we got St. John's lost that 1-point game to Iowa State yesterday. Zags put up 95 and wiped out Bama yesterday. Probably good Syracuse ain't playing against Gonzaga in yet another non-conference tournament game here this year. They're good again. Fancy that. Okay, let me go to the Players Era website, of which Kai and Anthony remains in the picture poster thing on the front. They're still making no claims on. Oh wait, now we actually have. Okay, what am I looking at here? There are. Okay, this is this is the first time I think they've actually put the game times for the rest of the tournament. So the Thursday games, the Thanksgiving games, are 2 and 4:30. Yeah, that's turkey o'clock. Like, that whole time is turkey o'clock. So, yeah, no postgame show on Thursday. If they end up playing tomorrow, there's just, there's games. There's games as early as 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and there's a game that's tipping off at midnight Eastern time, 9 o'clock Pacific. So it's, I don't know. I have no idea what they're doing. I have no idea exactly how they plan on figuring it out, or when they, or more importantly, when they plan on telling the rest of us. So there is that. Give the bird to Gavendo. Gavendo does keep finding his way on the old television, does he not? How about that for our guy? Where is Gavendo? Get on the horn, Gavendo. Tell us how the atmosphere was today. Again, link pinned top of the chat if you'd like to join the show. Yes, Eddie Q. Shot selection today I thought was bad. It just felt like it turned into a chuck and duck game from 3. We keep hearing about level 5 energy. That's gonna, like, I'm done with, like, just, I don't need to hear about it anymore. I'm so done with level 5 energy. I hate terms like that, and you play with it, fine. I just don't want to hear about it. Oh, Cuse Oregon. You used your code, Brian315, to get 10% off from simplysweetsisters.myshopify.com. Well, howdy ho. Which shirt did you get? Which design? Lots going on. Yeah, midnight tip. Would I do a post-game show for a midnight tip tomorrow night? Probably not, because that feels like aggressively just dumb. Like, that feels like a way to auto-ruin my own Thanksgiving by being up till like 3 in the freaking morning and all of it. But, yeah. Haig's Family Real Estate would be. This team is definitely a better team. Of course they are. This team is Red's best team. Like, I get they won 20 his first year. That Red's first year's team was just, like, made me, you can handle the 10%. Thank you. The Grinch is a good design. We'll contact the shipping department and get that out to the old left coast. Yeah, the coaching adjustments, I just don't know. The style of, I get what Red has been preaching on defense. We're finally seeing this year it coming to fruition a bit. Everything that Red has been talking about on defense for the last 3 years now. I have no idea what his offensive philosophy is. I don't have a clue. I have zero concept of what it is. I know people were tired of the Boeheim offense by the end. All right, 2 play, 3 play. It's people. It's a 5 high. We knew it all. We all could call it out, but we at least knew. All right, here's a play, and then you can play off it. And now I think they're doing more of that than we realize. Red's more of a subtle play caller than Boeheim, who's out there, waggling his arms around and whatnot. But they even stopped screening in the second half. It's like, can we at least do a pick? Can anybody that doesn't have the ball move from here to here or here to here? Or maybe you go where this guy is and you go where that guy is. I said at the beginning of the show, the amount of times Boeheim would just yell, especially in early season games when he was trying to get him to get it, that he would just be yelling, pass and cut, pass and cut. Pass and cut. Pass and cut. Is that a play? No, but I think you get the gist of what he's trying to tell them out there. You get it. Pass and cut. Level 5 is a ruse. They're just going to be so screwed if they run into a team that has a 1 to 10 or a 1 to 100, God forbid, energy scale. Imagine if they run into a team that's playing at level 95 out of 100 energy, and then the Orange are just playing at level 5 energy. You're minus 90 in energy. How do you overcome that? That's a significant energy deficit. That might be my bit. If I ever became a college head coach in a sport, I'd just come up with the most ridiculous thing. We play level 1,000. Our goal is to get at least to level 712 out of 1,000 every game. And if we can get to 712 every game, we feel good about our chances. We feel good. Sadiq And that's why I like what Sadiq's going to be here, and I think that's why they miss Donnie, because Donnie has started doing that this year as well. The ball sticks with so many guys on the court. It sticks with Kayed. It sticks with JJ. It sticks with Betsy. Like, the ball sticks with so many guys. Sadiq is a guy. The ball moves. The ball moves. I think William Kyle probably got his best stuff on offense when Sadiq was on the court today. Now, Sadiq's still making a lot of freshman mistakes. He's definitely outstrengthed. He is not as strong as the players on the other team when he's near the basket right now. But you can see that the basketball stuff in his brain is doing stuff that makes sense. The free throws are a mystery. Okay? Well, they're not a mystery. Like, especially today. I mean, Syracuse is a terrible free throw shooting team. It's not a mystery. They were 13 of 23 at the line, but you look at the misses. William Kyle has an absolutely atrocious free throw form for whatever the reason, with the crazy hitch that he not only hitches it, it then starts, like, he hitches it to the side. He hitches it like I can't even replicate it. Like, when they showed his free throw from, like, that kind of higher camera, like, the ball missed by so much it disappeared from the frame. You don't want your free throws disappearing from the frame. But, he missed 5 today. JJ missed 2. And then, obviously, Cayenne was 2 for 2 today, but he's really struggled. His shot looks fine, though. Like, can JJ and Kyle find a way to fix it during the year? Kyle probably no. JJ kind of forced his way through it last year. Yeah, if they play Tronic, if they run into Spinal Tap in the tournament, they are screwed. Honestly, like, I know this won't happen. I suggest, and hey, Robbie Hummel, and I like Robbie. I enjoy his broadcast generally. I beat you to it, Robbie, and I didn't suggest a Rick, because Rick's in his 80s now. Rick's progeny, though. U.S. Olympian from the Paris Olympic Games in 3x3 basketball. Canyonberry, former Florida Gator. He granny styles. Still, he was granny styling free throws in the Olympic Games. Let's get him in there. And everything I hear is Rick's kind of grumpy. So, maybe get Canyon in there. Not that JJ is going to start shooting granny styles free throws, but this free throw shooting, like today, Syracuse shot 60% from the free throw line, which was a vast improvement over yesterday. Like, that's a problem. It is, yeah, and it definitely improves your percentage when, let's see, William Kyle shot, what did he shoot today? 1 of 6, yeah. Yeah, he just toss it up there. Toss it up there. And yeah, the JJ hitch, it has to be mental, right? It has to be, because the hitch is not there in his three-point shot. Did Steve Nash play in the Olympics with Melo? Steve Nash, if they played in the Olympics, they would have played against each other. San Diego Q says Steve Nash is a gosh darn Canadian. So I don't know. I mean, so somebody suggested yesterday, where's JG3 at? Get that career 90-some-odd% free throw shooter in there. Like, bring back Jerry for just free throw advice. Where's Jerry? How is Sienna doing this year? I'm not on top of the Saints right now. I don't know. I'm not on top of my is Jerry going to replace a Red after the season meter? Sienna basketball. Well, what's Sienna up to? Yeah, Steve Nash, very Canadian. Like Andy Routen's also. Andy Routen's like half Canadian. So I don't know. See, what do we do about that? What's Sienna basketball up to? Let's check in. Again, link pinned top of the chat if you'd like to join the show. Sienna basketball. What? 4-2. Let's see. A win over Union. A win over Bryant. A win over Brown. A loss to the Bonnies. Oh, yeah, I did see they had a tight loss to the Gate. Last second Colgate shot on Monday. Then they beat UAlbany and Holy Cross. And now they, I said the Capital Thanksgiving Classic. I thought Sienna might be hosting in the fine capital of New York State. Albany. No, they're going to the capital of the whole darn country. It's apparently being hosted by American. They'll be playing Longwood American in Maine. starting in a few days. There we are. Yeah. Wear it. Wear it, Albany. Wear it. Oh yeah, we're coaching the hoops. We're done with our martial arts career for now. Yeah, JJ might need a little mental clarity. Like seriously, I don't know. Like, should he be meditating or something? I don't know how to fix this. But like, and again, we think, and who knows, we think, and JJ has sort of told me this before, but he's never really clear on it. We think the beginning of the free throw shooting falling apart for JJ started with a shoulder injury that he had at Notre Dame. So it's an understandable place for that to start. You're fighting through it. Like, it can legitimately be a physical thing. That's, say you're getting pain right through where you need to go through. Your body, just by necessity, is going to do something to alleviate the pain. From all accounts, that's no longer an issue, but then it gets into your head so much. I mean, think about, Charles Barkley's golf swing there. Like, Chuck Knobloch when he couldn't throw the ball to first base. Like, these things get into your head in a way that it like burrows into your subconscious. Like, I don't know if they work with sports psychiatrists or stuff like that. Yeah, we'll send JJ a bird feeder. Yeah, we'll hypnotize him, but only at the line. Can we, would it be a lane violation if William Kyle's just in front of JJ doing this? If he gets to the side of the lane, but reaches out, so he's technically feet out of the lane, but count backwards from 10. You are feeling not sleepy, but you're feeling like you're going to make a free throw. You're feeling like the ball will swish through the basket. You're feeling like the ball has gone in the hoop. Now shoot the ball. I think we could be onto something here. Yeah, yoga for free throw shooting. He could go do a hot yoga with Lane Kiffin. Yeah, a candle. Maybe like they can, needs a finely scented candle. I wonder where JJ could get one of those. A nice relaxing candle. I don't know. Where could he get one of those? A nice relaxing candle to help center him. Maybe he needs a nice air freshener to hang in the G-Wagon. I don't know. It feels very much like, golfers, like golf is obviously the most mental sport because every shot is like that, and basically every pro golfer is working with a sports psychologist. In basketball, so little of the sport is like that because it is reaction, motion, athleticism, all that stuff. But the free throw line is that. Yeah, he needs to go into the darkness, get the ayahuasca. I don't know what the answer is, and unfortunately, like, it's almost December. I don't know if there is an answer that's magically going to fix it by the end of the season. Those are usually, like, I don't think those golfers go to the sports psychologist. I don't think their putting is fixed the next week. Yeah, if only we had a way to accomplish that, Spatching the Wheeze. I feel the link should be auto-sliding into the chat anytime now. The timer should be just about up to toss the link in for simplysweetsisters.com. Whereas Cuse, Oregon also proved. Fine sweatshirts and other apparel also available. And sourdough starter. Like, you can do all sorts of stuff. You can do whatever you want on there. All right. Again, link pinned top of the chat. Nobody wants to talk to me today. We're just burned down on talking to me. That's your problem. We do need to, speaking of our fine sponsors, it probably is about time to do some very important things, like bring up the old Wild Birds Unlimited Backyard Bird Cam, which, again, pitch blackout. Not a lot going on in the backyard right now. My current lean here, William Kyle. I haven't been getting a lot of bird updates recently, probably because it's cold and gross out. Where are you, Northern Cardinals? Come back and join us. I was told they don't leave in the winter, but we'll stay vigilant, ever vigilant. You can see there's still a trickle of bird seed there. They're ready to go. But I'm leaning William Kyle, who had what did he end up with? He ended up with 9 and 8 today. Is that the final line for Kyle in this one? And I thought just the parts of the game where Syracuse played their best today, where Syracuse made its moves, where Syracuse made its runs, where Syracuse did stuff to maintain contact with Kansas. It felt like the parts of the game where that happened were the parts of the game where William Kyle had recently done something, and I don't think that's an accident. Like I think he did a lot of stuff today. The problem is William Kyle is very much a do the extra stuff kind of guy. A lot of what he does needs to add on to what other people have done, and there was just nobody to add on to today. William Kyle is the exclamation mark, but nobody was, the period or the comma or a semicolon or any of other of your favorite punctuation today. There was absolutely no ellipses. There was absolutely none of that going on today for the Orange. But William Kyle, I really, really like what he's doing this year. Really like what he's doing, and he is today's Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air, and he gets that player of the game. I need to get something. Somebody said this a few weeks ago. I need to get something to perch on the ledge of the bird feeder for the nighttime shows, because the birds are never going to be there at nighttime. During daytime, we could accidentally we get a daytime post game, we might accidentally live the bird life. But nighttime post game, we're the birds don't often come at this hour of the evening. So we'll see. Maybe we can get an Otto or orange bird of some sort to fake bird to go hang out back there at some point. You did, Kev? Thank you. Appreciate that. The bird cam is great. I didn't. Who knew I'd be a bird cam guy? I'd never been into the bird cam life, but now here we are, and yeah, we're living that bird cam life, and we love it. We love the bird cam life. I will have to go talking to a bird cam sometime later this week. I feel perhaps a happy Thanksgiving message from the bird cam on Turkey Day. Hey, I feel that will make great sense in all of our lives coming up in a few days. And the plan is to get out to the old Fayetteville location next week, I think, sometime, and do a little something with Matt, the owner of the local Wild Birds Unlimited, and perhaps show you, on top of the bird feeder, which comes highly recommended from me, the other stuff they got, because they got other stuff. Simply Sweet won't open. Well, why not? Simply just open for me, Kev. Oh, I got it open right here. I could go shirt shopping. I could do all sorts of things right now. I could be like Cuse Oregon and buy a Grinch sweatshirt. It's right there. Or a nice 12-ounce hand-poured soy candle, small batch clean burn. Small batch clean burn. So there we go. We can do that. All right, a few more minutes here. We can hang out again. Link pin top of the chat if you'd like to sneak in a call here before we call it a night here tonight. Again, yeah, just get buy. We just suggest that. Just keep buying. Our sponsors love it when you buy their stuff. So again, the game plan tomorrow, we're going to do a show. Either TPS report at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Me and Jordan will break down the last two games. That is if the basketball game is Thursday. If the basketball game is tomorrow, we'll do a post-game show. The basketball game, if it tips off at midnight, we're calling that technically Thursday. So if the Orange somehow gets stuck with a midnight slot, I think we'll do a TPS report. But we'll do something tomorrow. And we'll have post-game again for football on Saturday. Yes, one more football game. We will muster our strength and courage, and we will do that coming up on Saturday. If there is, I will promise you this. If there is a basketball game on Thursday, I will deliver a no wrong answers for that game. We'll get it out tomorrow or something. So it's my Thanksgiving treat to all of you. So we got to at least do that. When will we know the answer to that stuff? I haven't the foggiest of when we will know the answer to that stuff. That would be great if we could know the answer to that stuff. Has anybody seen, I don't think there's any way we can actually know yet, right? Like stuff still has to happen. We need more stuff to happen so that we might know things like that. Pardon me. I'm multitasking. I'm checking places in the old Twitter world that perhaps have sussed out this information that we can steal the information from and present it as our own. Yeah. I don't think it exists yet is the main thing here. Let's see. I don't think it exists yet. Oh, here, we'll do this. Thank you, WAER Sports on Twitter. No Red Postgame live for us available today, but they are out there, so they tweeted out some quotes. Red Autry, quote, "We're learning a lot of lessons. The last 2 games have helped us. We're getting better, but we have a lot of things we have to work on, period," end quote. All right. Autry, quote, "For me, it's not about the offense. It's truly about us and our energy, period," end quote. If they'd been level 5, they would have been moving off the ball. Be nice to have something that wasn't just level 5. Quote, "We don't want to focus on makes and misses. We want to focus on our effort. But at some point, there need to be some makes. You can't win on effort alone. The effort's important. The team last year is okay." Quote, Autry, "Building that trust is big time, and that's what you want as a player." Oh, pardon me. That's JJ on Autry. JJ, quote, "I feel like I'm doing a better job buying in defensively." I'll agree on that. JJ looks like he is trying on defense. Like there's no good reason that JJ can't be a competent defender. Like, he's big, he's athletically capable. Like, he can be a defender, and he'll do it. You know, I just try to, you wake up in the morning and you're just trying to break free of level 1 or level 2 to work your way into the day. Level 5, that's so that's a lot to strive for. Nothing out there yet that I have seen anywhere that is definitively stating when the next game might be. I got nothing. Yeah, basically, there's there's more games tonight that have to happen, and until those games happen, there's no way to know what's happening, which is just a great way to plan a tournament that runs into a freaking major holiday. The best part about these, you like to know, or it's the problem with these tournaments not being actual tournaments. Like, when Syracuse was in Maui a few years ago, you knew the time for tomorrow based on the result from today. And I get why this tournament exists. I get that's why what's happening right now. It would be much better if in this scenario there was something based on, X, plus Y equals Z. Now it's just like, blah! I don't know. I hate not knowing when a game is. And then if they're playing Thursday, to Kev's point, like if Syracuse is playing 4:30 on Thursday, which apparently might be a possibility, they're going to run headlong into what's going to be the highest rated regular season NFL game of all time. Taylor Swift versus the Cowboys. That's not ideal. And they're going to run headlong into where, the turkey's getting carved and all of that. Drywall finishes are measured level 1 to 5. Do you want 5? How does that work, Tronic? What's the scale? Are there times you want to, or is 5 good and 1 bad? I'm not up on drywall finishes. Is it is it a level of accomplishment, or is it a level of something else? So roughness? Do you want 1? Is 1 smooth? You got to get what's it called? The dirt. You got to get that on there, and you got to, you got to spread it out and do that thing. The mud. Not the dirt. The mud. Got to get the mud and do the mud. Yeah. This is me. I got a trowel. This is me drywalling, trying to figure out this tournament. So, stay tuned on the old social medias. At some point, I don't know if I'm going to know. This is what's dumb here. It's very possible that we could all go to bed at a reasonable time tonight and not know when the game is tomorrow. If there's a game, or not know if there's a game tomorrow. That I feel is problematic. That's a problem. That's a problem here, especially with the tournament. over the holidays. I'm putting up the fake drywall myself. I'm still waiting for Trinek to tell me about these level 1 to 5 drywall rules, of which I am decidedly unfamiliar. I'm not up on top of my drywall situation. Like, I know there's some behind the wall over here. That's how there's a wall. Of that, I am certain. Beyond that, life is a mystery when it comes to the drywall, which is probably a sign, since there's literally no way we can figure out when the game is before we wrap up the post-game show. I feel that is 100% the sign to wrap up the show now that we are just talking about drywall here on Thanksgiving's Eve. So, Firefest is running the tournament. The tournament is happening, though, which is a step ahead of Firefest. And a lot of money. They got the money. Big money everywhere, San Diego Qs. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of your evening. We will talk tomorrow at one time or another. Either Jordan and I will have a TPS report for you at 8 o'clock, or if there is a game at not 8 o'clock, we will have a post-game show for you. Stay apprised on the social medias. We'll let you know tonight, tomorrow, whenever, what's going on. I have a feeling I will wake up in the morning first thing, trying to figure it out as best we can. So, all right, tough one tonight for the Orange. Hung in, but now 0-2 in the Players Era Invitational. Have a good night. We'll talk one way or another tomorrow.
Thanks for watching the 315 with Brian Higgins. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn your notifications on. We'll see you next time.